Hey guys, welcome back. I have a book review for you guys. Um, and it is Knight's Promise by Amanda Ashley. I received a advanced reader's copy. I've been emailing Amanda Ashley, and she asked me to do a book. She wanted me to do a review, so I did. I got the book yesterday, and I started reading it around 6 o'clock, and I stopped reading it at like 2 in the morning, and I was like already halfway through, and then I finished it today, and oh my God, it was amazing. See, I hate that word amazing because it sounds really good, but at the same time, amazing is not even close to the word I want to use. It was so good that there's not a word for it. Okay, but this is a bookmark. I got this from Amanda Ashley. She has it on her website where if you want a bookmark, you just email her and she'll send them to you. So I'm going to read the description. For beautiful heiress Sherry West, I think that's what it says, vampires are more than a fantasy. They are an obsession. Night after night she dresses in black and immerses herself in LA's goth club scene, searching for a lover who is more than a man, a creature of the dark who lusts for her blood, a legend who lives in the shadows and not just her dreams. Then one fateful night she meets him, Derek Blackwood is no ordinary vampire, descended from a bloodline as old as Cleopatra and blessed with unearthly powers of seduction. He is everything Sherry wished for and more. When he takes her in his arms, she is powerless. When he kisses her neck, she is his. She is his, sorry. But when the full moon rises and passions flare, something is unleashed in Derek he's never felt before. Something wild, something dangerous, something he cannot control or stop unless she can save him. Oh, this book. Oh, just oh my gosh. um, I was looking forward to this book for months and months and months. Ever since I finished Knight's Mistress, I've been wanting and wanting and wanting to read Knight's Promise. Now that I have, it's just overwhelming because it was more than what I expected. It far beyond swept past what I expected. It was so good, and I would have to say it is my favorite of the series. It's also Amanda Ashley's favorite of the series too. I loved this book because one, it was so much. I don't know. I guess it felt easier to read. I guess. I mean, the other ones they were like that. It's just, but this would definitely have to be the one that captivated me the most. It was one of the it was a kind of book where I read it and I literally could not put it down, not for a second. I literally couldn't. I mean, that's why I stay up till 2 in the morning reading it, and I was forced to put it down because I was so tired. But it was so good, so amazing, and Sherry Sherry was she was the character that I because of the cover because I mean with the other covers it was interesting because Knight's Promise is the sixth book in her Children of the Night series. Um, Normally I would review the first five books before I would do a sixth one, but since she sent it to me, I felt obligated, and I well that and I really wanted to be able to read it first before anyone else gets to. So, um, because this book comes out on February 4th, which is a little less than a month from now, and I guess I should get into the book. Um, Now, spoiler alert: if you have not read the book, please stop watching, wait until you get it, something. All right. See, what the one thing about this book that I thought that was very different from the other ones is the fact that the story seems more centered around Derek Blackwood than it would be around Sherry. Because in most of the books, it's always centered around the woman and less on the man, and that when it's kind of reversed that way. And I really like that because because it to me it seems like you get a whole lot more of Derek than you would of Sherry, and I like that because he's really the character that everybody really wants to know about because I mean his father was a werewolf, only he didn't really know it. Because his because the werewolf gene was in his father, but it was um, latent or dormant, unusable or something. But in Derek, it becomes active, and after he is 25, when his body actually stops aging, is when it starts to make itself known. And this really scares him because ever since he was 13, he was just a vampire, and it really frightens him because he's been a vampire. That's all he's known, and him realizing that he might be a werewolf or it might change his life. Because his one of his many fears is that if he does become a werewolf, he will become a monster, and he will be ruthless, and he will be a monster that most people view, or how the mythical of how people actually view werewolves as a monster, incapable of compassion or love. But in this, I like this because it really just sprang to my love of hybrids because that's exactly what he is. He is a vampire, but he's also a werewolf. Now his all of his senses, his um, strength and his um, vision and the way he smells and hears, of course he's a vampire, and also because he is the son of Mara, who is queen of the vampires. He's already really strong because of her, but during his first turn into a werewolf, all of those are even stronger. And so I find that really interesting because he is one of the most powerful creatures to actually walk the earth, with the exception of his mother, of course. There's pretty much no one stronger than she is. Logan Blackwood is another one that is pretty strong. He's 900, but I mean he's 900 years old, over 900, almost 1,000, and he was also one of those characters I was happy to see again. Um, Now Sherry loves vampires. I've been obsessed with them practically her whole life, and see, it's not exactly what she's someone who's rich. I never really thought someone being rich would actually be the type of person that would be obsessed with vampires. But you kind of realize that it's really anyone, especially with someone rich. They have everything, and maybe they crave the one thing that they think they'll never have. So hold on, I'm gonna fix this a little bit. There we go. I thought it was messed up, but then I moved it, and then it looked bad, so I had to move it back. Sorry. um, Sherry's. I really liked her. I thought that she was a very strong character because she wasn't she wasn't afraid of Drake. Drake, sorry. While reading, I'm like, Drake. Why am I thinking of Drake? I'm like, oh, Bound by Night by Amanda Actually. There's Drake in that one. Derek. She's not afraid of Derek. She's she's afraid of what he is, but even that she overcomes. After a while, it's like it doesn't even bother her anymore. And what I like is the fact that she loves him. The love between them is so strong that she grows to love him so much that it almost doesn't matter what he is. That she still loves him. And I found that so heartwarming because you know I don't normally come across book series where you find two people where their love is so strong enough to be able to overcome anything. I've found that in Amanda Ashley's books before with her Bound duology, her Bound by Night and Bound by Blood, between Elena and Drake. And I found that again with Sherry and Derek. And I really like that because he's afraid he's going to turn into this horrible monster that's going to slaughter everyone and not being able to find his way back to himself. And Sherry, she's scared of that, but she has faith that he will overcome it, that he will regain himself even if he does become a monster. And they have a bond, a very close bond that is almost supernatural because just being near her calms him, and just a few sips of her blood satisfies his thirst like no other one's blood ever has. And that was definitely a sign that there is something very strong between them, something that isn't easily broken by. And I really enjoyed that, and just everything that they overcame was was so powerful, and I don't know, it really it was really amazing to read and to almost see, because while reading, sometimes it's like I'm not reading. Sometimes I'm so captivated by whatever I'm reading, it's almost like I'm not reading at all. It's like I'm listening and seeing with my own eyes instead of reading words on a page. And that's something I've always found to be so amazing sometimes. And with Amanda Ashley's books, it's always like that. Always, especially with this one, because I loved it. And Sherry proposed, which is kind of a little backwards, but I liked it. It felt right that it was her the one to propose instead of him. And they had a private wedding, and then they had a bigger one later on. Um, during and then during Derek's second change, um, that's where hunters come on him because during the first time he turned, he um, barged into a cabin, into a house that had um, a couple and their three children, which because most vampires need an invitation, but maybe because he's a werewolf, he didn't need one. And so he almost kills their infant child, and the farmer almost he almost kills he almost kills him, and it was Sherry inside of his mind that stopped him. And during his second turn, a bunch of hunters tried to kill him, and then Sherry was there because he told her to come out, and then she gets shot by one of the hunters, and and then Derek, desperate because he doesn't want to lose her, he turns her, and then she hates it at first, but she gets used to it eventually. and she tries to get Ada and Pearl serum so she could become mortal again. But thankfully, she didn't take it. But also thankfully because Tarek flushed it down the toilet. uh, I loved this book. I really did. Amanda Ashley, I know you will watch this when I send you the link to this. You did an amazing job on this one. I know I've said that before, but you did a better job with this one than you did on any of your other ones. This was really amazing, and I know that doesn't say it, but there it is. It was good. It was a page turner. It was one of those where I could not put it down for a second. When like one of my brother and sister needed like called me wanted to show me something, I'm like, leave me alone. I'm like, they don't exist. They just don't. They just don't exist. It was just that good. It was just so mind blowing because I don't know. It pulled me in and dragged me in and held me there, and it was almost to the point where I didn't even think until I either had to go to bed or actually eat, and it was just it was amazing. It really was. I mean, I cannot wait for the seventh book, which she has titled Knight's Surrender, but she said that will probably change. Whether it does or don't, I don't know, but I kind of like the title, so I'm hoping that it stays. But I really hope you guys like this review. I will be rereading and doing Knight's Kiss, Knight's Touch, Knight's Master, Knight's Pleasure, and Knight's Mistress sometime. Um, I don't exactly know when, but you'll find out in my weekly updates. I'll be doing another one on the 10th, and I'll be writing the next couple days. I won't actually be reading because I really need to get back into writing. So that's what I'll be doing for the next few days. So I really hope you guys like this. Please do pick this up on February 4th. It was amazing. I don't regret a second of it, except for the fact that it only took me really a day and a half to read this book, and it was worth every single second. And I promise you that one. Um, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. And don't forget, happy reading.